He goes, what? I was to be honest with her. I like it to put everything on the table. I said, no, you put everything on the table, all right? You put your fucking sleeping dick all over that table. He's out of his mind.
All of that stuff I've done. Exactly the same way. Yo, Dom, over here. Hey, Dom, hey.
Yo, Dom.
What's going on, brother?
Anthony, Dom,
We're just talking to you. We not just talking to him about this man. Let me tell you something. I saw your stand-up. It was vulgar. It was no respect, anything. But I loved it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Oh, Goombah Johnny says, what's up?
How's he doing?
Good, man. He's a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm touring with my my uncle. Johnny gets excited over things that I don't get excited about at 43 years old. Like we woke up this morning early, we had an early flight, and he's smiling. And I'm like, dude, it's 3:30 in the morning. What are you smiling for? And he goes, took a shit finally. I go, it's fantastic. I'm glad your system's working.
What's he doing? Is he doing stand-up?
Yeah, he's touring with me all across the country. Yeah, he opens.
That's cool.
How did that happen, Ian? How'd you guys meet?
I did I got asked to do a charity event for Chaz Palminteri at Gotham.
Why? What happened to him? He's got sick?
No.
Nobody calls me. Chaz is sick.
That sounded like a memorial. But he was asked to do it, and I went in the basement. I met him, but I listened to him, on KTU when I was younger, and I said to him, I go, Goombah Johnny. I said, you almost fucking ran me over with your car when I was like 19. He goes, no, I didn't. I said, yeah, he did. He goes, where was it? I said, Shore Road. He goes, huh? I lived on Shore Road. I said, I know. I used to deliver pizza to your house. He goes, really? What car was it? I said, a black Vet convertible you had on a Chiefs hat. He goes, that was definitely me. And I saw him perform, and I loved his stuff aligns with my crowd, so we hooked up.
Very cool.
Yeah, were you a fan, like a fan of his stand up beforehand?
I never even did stand up. So when I saw him there, I was like, "Who are you here to watch?"
What? That was like a neighborhood nickname, Goombah Johnny. Like it wasn't a stage name.
No, I think obviously he's part Italian, but it confuses the shit out of people. Like when we tour, like when we're in like Texas, they'll announce him and they're like, "Coming to the stage, make some noise for Johnny Goombah." And he's like, son of a bitch. I'm like, can you blame them? I'm like, Goombah sounds like a last name. They don't know what the hell it means.
You know what I'm seeing struggle? I think the hipsters are tough when you get in front of in front of a room of them.
I just came back from San Francisco. You want to talk about hipsters? I had a room. We had a decent crowd, but it took a little while for us to open them up. And then I came out and just called them out for it. I said, listen, just because you have purple hair, pink hair, you want to cut off your dick, you can laugh at jokes. And they kind of opened up, came out of their shell. We crushed the fucking crowd, but it took a little while for them to it's almost like they feel bad laughing at shit that they stand for.
And it was mostly white crowd too, right? Almost all white.
San Francisco was fucking all white.
That's where Brian's based there. That's
yeah. I was out of town this weekend. Otherwise, I would have came down. You were at Cobb's and Punchline, or just
Cobb's and Punchline in Sacramento.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cobb's was San Francisco. We went to a Giants game also, and Goombah Johnny, he don't have a fucking. I mean, he's at that age where you don't need it. You don't have to have a filter.
Yeah.
And he there's a woman in front of me, and she's got who the fuck's the player? My God, Peterson, Jock Peterson. He's got a Jock Peterson jersey on with her 8-year-old son, but it's the jersey where the number is the LGBTQ plus flag.
They were giving those away.
Yeah, well, they have to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no one's fucking buying them in the store. I was in the store for like an hour and a half. And Johnny, as loud as you possibly, he looks around and he goes, you know what I see about San Francisco, Ant? I go, what? He goes, everybody is fucking ugly. And the lady turned around and she was like, excuse me? He goes, look, perfect example. And I'm looking around and I'm like, holy shit. I mean, there's a lot of fucking ugly people in the stadium.
It's not a very good-looking city at all.
Really? This is an interesting stat. We never talked.
No, it's ugly. Yeah.
I started paying attention to it.
Yeah.
We started going out, and I'm like, oh my. He goes 10. He goes 9 over and under. I go, what are you 9? We don't see more than 9 fucking fuckable people. I go, well, do they have to be female? Because we are in San Francisco. I mean, anything goes. And we couldn't find 9 good-looking people. It was fucking scary. Scary.
Dom, do you feel the same way about San Fran?
It used to be more. Now that it's a poor city, it's changed. But they used to be like ugly, but I mean beautiful, but it's fucking crazy. It was a crazy city. It was like really.
It's weird, man. Like I go to some of these shows. Like I'll sneak into a comedy club just to see who's, like we had a pack show 20 minutes from my house at a Governor's, and it was a Wednesday night. So the owner was like, "Why don't you come by?" And it was a TikTok guy, and he's got millions of followers, and the place was mobbed, and he didn't get a laugh. He gets applauses. He's talking about anxiety, fucking taking depression medication. I'm like, and people are going, "Yeah, me too." And I'm going, where are the jokes? There's no joke, no punchline. And it's just they're laughing, they're giggling and applauding at his presence. And I'm like, this is what comedy's got into. He packs the house, 4 sold out shows, not one ounce of laughter. And I don't get it. I don't know what some people laugh at anymore. I watch social media all the time. And it's like these videos go viral. It's the dumbest shit. And I'm like, am I too intelligent to go viral? Or do I have to like jump into a batch of barbed wire lit on fire and fucking like cut my insides out to go
You're
viral?
being extremely. How many times have you went viral? Come on, Ant. Come on.
But look at the amount of videos I have. I've got 1,000 videos out. But I'm talking about some of the stuff that goes viral. I look at it and I'm like, a guy jumping off a roof, landing on a trampoline of nails is going viral. This is why China's going to take over. I'm telling you. You go to China and you go on TikTok, they promote engineering, mathematics. They promote like intelligent shit. They don't have any of this. They suppress all that. And we have our fucking people here stopping traffic in Times Square to do a fucking TikTok dance. I want one of them to stop in front of my pickup truck. I got a lifted pickup truck. I'll go viral for killing 6 kids. I'll right to the beat too. I'll wait till they get to the end of the song and boom, I'll just like a fucking bowling alley. It's out of control, man. I don't know. It's a tough place to raise kids. I feel bad for my kids.
But you didn't think the San Fran crowds in general were comedy crowds?
The crowds were great.
Oh, okay.
The crowds were great. I mean, they got every punchline. I mean,
where'd you work in the Cobb's?
Yeah, we were at Cobb's and then Punchline in Sacramento. All the crowds were phenomenal. And I gauge my shows, number one, off the laughter, but off of how many people stick around for the meet and greet. Mm-hmm. And when I do comedy clubs, I'll open it up to anybody. I open it up.
There's a lot of clubs here, even like smaller shows. I mean, I see, every week there's like, more or less a show. It's a decent scene.
But I mean, I don't think if I say 10 people from each show didn't stick around for the meet and greet, that's a lot. But the crowds were awesome, and they caught on to every joke, every punchline, even some of the shit that I didn't think was as like would hit as hard. They would hit, and I'm like, fuck, all right. I didn't think that was that funny, but it was good energy, man. Really, I would actually go back, but only for comedy. I mean, I had a guy there from Connecticut, and I was like, oh, what are you doing here? And he goes, oh, man. He goes, we're here on vacation. I said, fucking San Francisco? I said, I'd rather go to Disney than San Francisco. I said, what the hell are you doing on vacation in San Francisco? It's just, you know what it is? And just so people don't kill me, it's sad because that city, we went to a Giants game. It's phenomenal that you don't have to pay $2,800 to sit behind a dugout like Yankee Stadium. But we went
still expensive, I bet, though, right?
No, it was fucking $400 for 2 tickets. We were first row behind a dugout. But I looked at Johnny and I said, the stadium, downtown, the city in general, it's such a beautiful city, and it's sad they don't clean it up. And I truly believe. I listened to Joe Rogan, and I think he nailed it. He said they don't clean it up because it's about money. They get funding for the homeless, and if the homeless goes away, they don't get funding, and it's fucking sad because San Francisco is a really beautiful city.
Yeah, they're pocketing the cash somewhere. I mean, you can tell. I mean, I live here in the middle of the city in almost North Beach, and I never see police. Ever.
Right. Well, they say the cops get shitted on. They say,
yeah. Destroyed.
I mean, where's the funding going? The only thing I can see is that they're taking the money, going to Dick's Sporting Goods, and giving everyone tents. That's all they're doing with the money.
I saw
because is that California in general, Dom, or that's
San Francisco mostly?
It's gotten bad in LA.
LA's bad. I mean, I was in Irvine. Yeah. Irvine was actually pretty decent. San Diego's beautiful, but again, San Diego has its problems with homeless also. It's just, dude, California has so many beautiful places, and it's sad that they don't clean it up. It really is.
I was going out with this really dumb girl, and she said to me one time, she goes, "Why don't these dumb bums just move to Hawaii?" I said they can't fucking get there. You need money.
I'm actually so glad you said that. So I performed in Honolulu, and Hawaii is phenomenal. But the bums there, the homeless people there, they have so much. I had a homeless guy stop me, pulls on my shirt. I went to go across the street. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "What are you doing?" I said, are you homeless? He goes, "Yeah, I am. And I'm trying to help you out." I said, "Doing what?" He goes, "You can't cross the street because the sign says don't cross. You got to wait for the sign to say cross." I said, "What are you talking about? I'm from New York where there's no cars. We cross when there's no cars." He goes, "Look around, buddy. No one's crossing." And you look around, everyone's staying on the curb. No one's crossing. The light to cross goes white. Everyone crosses. And I go, "You don't ever cross?" He goes, "No, bro, it's the law. Respect the law." And I said, this guy would probably blow me for a sandwich right now behind a palm tree on the beach, but he won't cross the street unless the sign. That's discipline. And I'm talking to a resident there who lives there for 12 years. They actually bus or actually fly. They transport homeless people from the mainland, whether it's New York, California, wherever, from the mainland. And I think he said about 500 homeless people a year, and they transport them to Hawaii. And I'm like, as a homeless person, that's like winning the fucking lotto. You're laying there on the sidewalk and someone's like, "Hey, Jim, today's your day, bro. You're getting called up. You're getting called up to the big leagues. You're going to sleep on a beach underneath coconuts for the rest of your life."
And Dom was telling us on a podcast episode that the Laugh Factory does like a show for them every holiday.
No.
The comedians feed them. I think
dinner.
It's nice.
Christmas and Thanksgiving.
But if I get
how long's the show, Dom? It's like 5 hours, right?
No, they have 2 shows in a day. But I went up last year and it was kind of empty. People had walked out, and I said, "Where are those people?" And they walked out. Can you imagine how bad those fucking acts must be? They walk out of a place and get my fucking thing. I'm out of here. How bad would those
Central Air? They're walking out. The Central Air.
Back to the park to freeze my ass off. This comedian sucks.
I'd rather, yeah.
Can you imagine?
How bad do you have to be? Get my card, man. I'm out of here. Fuck you.
That's gonna be the downfall of a comedian. You walked a homeless person. He had food and heat, and he'd rather go out in the cold and suffer because you sucked on stage. Oh, that's great.
I don't care what your mother said to you.
Yeah, I didn't know they do that. Which one did he do with that? The one in New Brunswick?
No, this is Laugh Factory Hollywood, right?
Oh yeah, Laugh Factory Hollywood.
I'm thinking Stress
Factory.
Yeah.
Stress Factory does it too?
No.
Vinny would take the money off the fucking people.
He's not doing. That's why when you said Factory, I'm like Stress Factory. I was thinking Stress Factory.
Vinny's not inviting the bums in.
No, hell no. He's giving them all those. He's like, they'll try to walk out of the show. He's like, "Where's your paid ticket? Where's your paid ticket?"
But don't you like James over at Governor's? He's what a fucking character he is.
Yeah, I've known James. James was actually the first comedy club owner to give me a spot on a comedy club stage. That was my first show, Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, 2019. And he called me up at work, and he's like, "Hey, Anthony Rodia, please." And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" And he's like, James from Governor's Comedy Club." I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" He's like, "You free the day after Thanksgiving?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Good. I want you to work for me at brokerage." I said, "Fantastic." Hang up the phone. 3 weeks go by. I call him up. I go, "Hey." He goes, "Hey, what do you need?" I said, "Who am I opening for? Anybody famous?" He goes, "What?" I said, "Who am I opening for?" He goes, "Kid, you all right?" I go, "Why?" He goes, "You're fucking headline." I go, "I'm headline?" I said, "I've never performed at a comedy club before." He goes, "Yeah, you're headlining." I said, "All right." So I headlined. We ended up selling out the show. Wow. And he comes to me backstage, gives me an envelope. I said, "What's this?" He goes, "Your pay." I go, "I'm getting fucking paid for this." And he goes, "How new are you?" I said, "This is my paid show. Before this, I made $500 at a pizzeria in Jersey." So after that, I've had and it's my back. I mean, it's in my backyard. I pop in all the time to practice new stuff.
I love that company.
James is definitely a character, man. He looks like he's out of the Al Capone ages. He's got a pinstripe suit on, fucking all.
There's a couple of governors, right?
You got governors. You got governors in Levittown. You got brokerage in Belmore, and then you have McGuire's in Bohemia, all the way out east. Yeah, those are all his good clubs.
Governors is the best, though.
You know what I love about James? You'll never, like some clubs you'll go to, like when I go to new areas, you know, I might do it. Like last year, I did a couple of shows like Greensboro, North Carolina, 40 people. And, you know, some places you'll go to and you won't draw. He will never have you perform in front of a dead crowd, because if he feels like the tickets aren't going quick enough, he'll start papering the room and pack it out for you. So listen, you're not going to, you know, those tickets aren't sold. You're not making money on them, but at least you're performing in front of a decent audience, and you're gaining fans. I mean, if you crush the show, you're gaining, you know, 200 more fans. So that's one thing I love that he does. No comedian will ever perform in front of a dead room with him. And it's smart business. I mean, you bring him in, even if they spend $25 on food, that's $25 you weren't going to see as an owner.
Right.
You know, so he's smart when it comes to that. But yeah, James is definitely a character without question.
When did you start working for him, Dom?
1942. I don't know.
You're 20 years in at that point.
I don't even know when he's serious. Would you say 20 years in?
Yeah.
No, well, I went.
They used to be owned by different people, so it's more competitive. Now he owns it all, so it's just make it much easier.
No, I walked through that club a couple weeks ago. It's like the same that it looked in the fucking 80s.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it looks like? It looks like one of those fucking short stay motels. I tell him all the time. I'm like, James, I don't know whether to do comedy or call an escort. You have red carpet, red walls, dimming light. I said, fucking redo it. He goes, for what? I go, all right. I mean, it does have that old school feel. You know, you walk in, it's kind of dark, smells like mold. I mean, it's fantastic. But I told him, I said, do it up, change it a little bit. But he don't want to change it. I mean, it's an old school club. I mean, you know, a lot of these clubs, they don't look like that. So, I mean, I guess whatever works. But yeah,
they get good acts. That's what helps, you know. It's like some of these places, the improv, we could seat 800. Yeah, well, the guys that could seat 800 ain't here.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Theaters.
That sucks when you know, you have a place that does those numbers and you know they have that capacity, but they're not getting the accent to do the capacity. It's a waste of a club. But yeah, I mean, think about all the, you know, the big acts just here on Long Island alone. You know,
you're based in Long Island.
Yeah, I'm on Franklin Square, like by Garden City.
And what scene did you break into? Like when you first started doing stand up, was that your home base? Or you would go to
I was in, so I did like 3 open mics when I was like 20. And then when I was I was 37, I started doing the videos online. And I remember comparing it to the Kardashians. I'm like, you got a family that has no talent, but they're amazing in business and they're making a shitload of money because what they did was they captured whatever audience they captured and they kept feeding their base. And if you do that, I mean, you'll get an audience. You'll be able to make money as long as you just feed your base. You got to build a base and then just keep feeding it what they want. And they do that. I mean, think about it. What talent does the Kardashians have? I mean, nothing. But
big entertainment.
They're easy on the eyes.
Yeah, they're entertaining. That's what it is.
Exactly. But yeah, they're good looking. But again, that's feeding their base. That's what their base wants. Fat asses, big lips. Every girl wants to be a Kardashian now. So when I started doing the videos, I started getting that old school audience, and I started doing the shows. I rented out a theater in White Plains, New York. That's where I'm from. I'm from Westchester. I live on Long Island because, you know, my wife lives here, and I didn't want to say no and get divorced for a location, even though I hate fucking Long Island. I like the people, dude. But everyone's a Met fan. I'm a Yankee fan. Everyone's an Islander fan. I'm a Rangers fan. There's traffic at fucking 2:00 in the morning. There's always traffic. There's traffic on my block. Yeah. But my base is Westchester, so I rented out a theater, and I tried my best to pack it out, and then I did Governors, and then I got with Roger Paul, and I just slowly started doing shows. But yeah, I would say Westchester was my base, and I would say now it's Westchester and Long Island.
That's crazy how you just.
I love it because it's like Philly. without the people nagging me for fucking tickets. You know?
And do you get a lot of that, like from people from the neighborhood? Hey, how do I get tickets?
Dude, I got
buy them online.
I had a guy. So usually I'm pretty good with that. Like I'll have fans that'll come up to me the right way. Like I had this guy, Don, last year. I'll never forget it. Guy's on disability. He's like 65, 70 years old. Calls, contacts me online. My partner Dom was like, "Hey, listen, maybe you want to entertain this guy. It seems legit. Guy's disabled, on disability, wants to come see me." I ended up giving him tickets. I gave him an Uber. I drove him. Had him give him a ride to the Chicago Improv back home. Guy was crying at the fucking meet and greet. So I'll give away tickets to certain people that actually come across the right way. One guy called me, and like I said, I've had the same phone number for years. And I pick up, the best is when they haven't spoken to you in years and they actually think you're going to recognize their fucking voice. So I pick up and I'm like, hello. He's like, yo, what's up, Dick? I'm like, what's up? He's like, you don't know who this is? I go, yeah. People call me Dick. I said, it starts from my wife, ends at my little brother, and a bunch of people in between. I said, who is this? He goes, oh, it's so-and-so from high school. I said, oh, what's up? Nothing, man. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm coming with 10 people to your show to support you in Connecticut. I can't wait to see you rock that stage. I said, oh, awesome, man. I said, well, listen. I said, send me who the tickets are under, and I'll make sure they seat you in a good area. He goes, yeah, I was actually seeing, I know you guys get comps and stuff. Like, can you hook me up? Like, if I buy like 4, you can give me 6. I go, how is that supporting me? He goes, come on, bro. We go way back. I said, all right, you know what? I'll hook you up. Call this number. You got a pen? Yes, I got a pen. I said, all right, it's 1-800 eat a dick. I said, you know the numbers that represent those letters? And he goes, oh, it's like that? Yeah, it's like that, dude. I haven't seen you since fucking high school. Eat a dick. I said, go buy the tickets online. And I hung up on him. And he came to the show. He came to the show with 10 people. And I said, was that hard? I said, my tickets aren't even expensive. They're fucking $30 to $60. I said, you own 2 construction companies with your father, you fucking tight ass. I can't stand people, dude. I fucking hate people.
I had a guy call me up for good seats. He says, "Can I get I'm paying for the tickets. Can you get me good seats?" I go, "See those guys in the tuxedos? They work here. They don't just feel like putting a tuxedo on at 7:30 at night. Yeah, you give them, you duke them, and you'll see wherever you want. That's it."
Yeah, dude, I hate people. Getting into comedy, you obviously are in contact and you engage with so many people on a daily basis. Like I answer people back online, I answer emails back. People suck, man. The majority, there's good ones out there, which kind of makes up with it. But I mean, Jesus. I mean, I had a lady come up to me. We had a show, 1,200 people, sold out show. Waits for the meet and greet to be over. Comes up to me at the end, like catches me outside. And she's like, Anthony. I said, what's up? She goes, I came to your show and I was not entertained. I did not appreciate some of the language you used. And I said, oh, you didn't like it? And she goes, no, I did not. Like 50-something-year-old woman. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you understand how ratios work? And she goes, yeah. I said, well, you're 1 out of 1,200. Do you honestly think I give a fuck about your opinion? And she goes, are you serious? I'm dead serious. You waited until I was outside to tell me that my show, which had a standing ovation, sucked. And you think I'm going to be nice to you? She goes, well, you just lost a fan. I go, well, I appreciate that. Can I give you a shirt as a parting gift? And can you tell all your friends not to follow me either? Because they're probably just like you. And I look at Goombah Johnny. He goes, you fucking lost it, dude. You're out of your mind. I said, no, I have enough fans now. I waited patiently. I have enough fans where I can tell a few of them to go fuck themselves if they deserve it. She deserved it. The nerve on people, though.
What I'm noticing about stand-up with people like from the neighborhood that you grew up in, is it's a job that a lot of people think, like they would never look at a basketball player and say, oh, I'm going to make it to the NBA. But there's something about like
because all you do is talk. Everybody can't dunk.
I can't, Dom. I can't tell you how many people have came to my shows like 3 or 4 times, and then they'll text me or they'll message me on the computer and they'll be like, hey, the next show you got at Helium, you think you could talk to your the manager there and get me 15? I'm like, it's not it's not like it's a job. It's not like you interview.
Steve, I'm so glad you said that. That's the one thing. Like I love comedy, man. I've been a comedy junkie since I was a kid. I just didn't wake up one day in my basement and go, what job can I do where I can make really good money and not have to go to work during the week? Like, I'm a comedy junkie. I take it seriously. I'm constantly writing material. When you have people, especially people that already have somewhat of a celebrity status, like, you know, like the reality show people, whatever, you have people that think this shit's so easy and they don't have the same respect that we have for the actual art of comedy. And they think they can just jump on stage and do it, whether they're, and social media did a lot of that. You got a guy that, you know, might make 10,000 people on social media laugh. That shit's not going to translate on stage. You can't just do the same thing on stage, which is why I don't go on stage dressed up as a 70-year-old Italian woman in a fucking house dress, because that to me is corny. And you're watching it at home. Why would you watch the same thing you watch at home on stage? And you have a lot of these guys that don't even have a passion for it. They just think it's so easy, and they find out the hard way. And some of them, you know, they work enough to where you have guys that have actual talent that don't get booked as much as them because they have the following. And it's like anybody thinks they can jump on stage, dude. And it's so frustrating. I'm like, you don't just become, you know, a fucking stand-up comic.
We've talked about it on the podcast before. Like, there's been a couple that have worked at it and gotten better. Like, Dom, I think you said like Jeremy Piven, he's came a long way. Like, he's starting to.
But he doesn't. He's not a comedian. He's such a good actor. He looks like a comedian. On stage, he has a whole thing. Did I say something nice about him? Because I didn't like him, by the way.
I've heard
you don't like Piven.
No, he's a fucking phony.
Ooh,
you know
did
what,
he do something to you?
Dom, I'm going to jump on your back and back you up on that, because I had an experience with Piven. He was at a show that I was performing at, and some dude went to go open for him. And then I think he heard him. He was doing 2 shows, and the kid actually made people laugh. The kid was decent as an opener. And I think Piven like fucking cursed him out. And he was like, yo, you're not working next show. And the kid was like, oh, I got family and friends here. Something happened where he was just I've heard horror stories with that guy. And it's sad because as an actor, he might have been one. I love Entourage. He
was great in that. Phenomenal.
Ari Gold was probably one of my favorite characters when he came in with that fucking paintball gun and fired people. Great. Awesome. But I think his problem is, and if you watch him perform, he has anger inside of him. And I think his main thing is it's almost like he's bothered that people want to see that character on stage of Ari Gold, and he wants them to see Piven, but nobody cares about Piven. They come when you create a character like that, you know, like a Steve Urkel or a Screech, people fall in love with that character. You know, I think Giannis Pappas, great comedian, he had an issue with that where people wanted to see his character, that woman that he does, and he was getting shit for that. If you create a character that much and you're doing it, people want that. And I've heard horror stories about him.
Anyway, I'll tell him we said hello.
I don't have his number, Dom, but if he comes at you, I got your back. I've been working.
I appreciate that.
So Ant, you the goal wasn't to like start touring headlining when you started like making the sketches and the videos on the internet. Like the goal wasn't the headline clubs, like that whole thing with James and Governors reaching out and it snowballed.
I didn't think it was going to happen. I did the videos as a joke because I was in a weight loss competition with one of my cousins. So I did the old Italian character of Uncle Vinny, and I did a video of him defending me, and I posted it. And then my cousin was like, yo, dude, you got like 20,000 views. I had like 100 followers. I was like, what? And everybody was like, yo, dude, your accent is so like authentic. And then I started doing skits because I saw other people doing skits. And I was like, all right. So I watched YouTube. I watched how to edit and stuff like that. And then I started getting people that were like, oh, do you perform anywhere? And I did it again. I did it when I was like 20, 22. Like I did one big show where I opened for Capone in Westchester. But I've always, like, the way I am on stage is the way I'm off stage. You go out to dinner with me, I can't be serious. There's no way. I'm sarcastic. I'm a ball breaker. And I always had people tell me, why don't you just do stand-up? You're a good storyteller. You make people laugh. And when I first started to do it, I was like, this is great. I can do one show a week and make extra money for golf. And my wife doesn't have to break my balls every time I go golfing. It could be like stash away money. Every husband needs stash away money. And then Roger Paul picked me up. And I remember I went to work March 18th, 2019. I'll never forget this day. I walk into a 7:30 finance meeting with the owners, every other manager. I was a finance guy at a car dealership. And I made a bet with myself. I said, if I can make more money doing comedy the first quarter of 2019 than I did at work, I'll quit. And I remember looking at my check and looking at what I made doing stand-up, and I beat it by $100. And I walked into the meeting and I fucking cursed everybody out. And I went to have pancakes. And I went home, and my wife goes, "What are you doing home at noon?" And I said, "I quit my job." She starts crying hysterical. And I said, "Babe, I'm following my dream." She goes, "You're not funny." I go, "Well, not you." I said, "Well, why are you crying?" I said, "I'll try it for 6 months. If I fail, I'll go back to work." And she goes, "I'm pregnant." And she was pregnant with my son. And that's what really put the fire in my ass to kind of, I mean, I was making videos every day. And then when the pandemic hit, I had 150 gigs canceled. And I remember sitting in my basement with Johnny. I go, "Dude, what are we going to do?" And he goes, "I don't know." And I turned on the TV and I was like, "This is bullshit. You got either the Tiger King or a death clock that just constantly rolls on the news. It's depressing." And I made 94 videos.
Dude, you were doing like 4 a day.
Yeah. No,
I
I was posting a video every night at 7:00 for 96 nights in a row. And then I just kind of took a break. I had to. My brain was fried because I wouldn't have a video.
Did you put a team of writers to like
No,
the ideas you were coming up with? It was crazy.
So here's what I would do. 12:00 every day, I would have an idea. Uncle Vinny wants a divorce from Zia Lucia. And I would put it up and I'd say video coming at 7. I wouldn't even know what the fuck I was going to do a video on, but I knew the idea. And because I committed to 7:00, I knew I had to put a video out.
Right.
And then I would just sit in my basement, come up with a conversation that they might have, put the video, edit it, film it, whatever, and then put it out. And I did that for 3 months straight.
It's good writing practice too.
Oh, you're under pressure. But at one point, dude, I'll never forget, I was getting 2,000 to 4,000 followers a week on Instagram and almost 55 to 60,000 a week on Facebook during the pandemic. And in a year, I shot up from, I think, 200,000 followers to like 680.
Dom, he didn't leave his house.
Oh. No, I didn't. My wife,
all self-produced, no production, production company. That's crazy.
I got the cameras here. Look what my fucking basement looks like. I got fucking green screens. I got fucking lighting. My whole basement. My wife wants to strangle me. But she came downstairs one day after like the 3rd month, and she's like, "You need to stop. You're not putting a video out tonight. You're going to take 3 weeks off." I was literally causing anxiety because I was like, fuck, I just committed to another video. I don't know what I'm going to do. And after a while, I mean, 96 videos, you're going to run out of ideas. I'd call up my family. I'd be like, "Yo, what conversation did your mom have last night?" She's like, "I'm not telling you so you can put it online." I'm like, "Yeah, so I need a video idea. Put the phone on speaker. Let me just listen to your mom talk for like 10 minutes. And I was grabbing ideas from everybody. It was crazy.
That's amazing.
It paid off, man. Thank God.
Different paths to different people. That's incredible.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm glad you said that because there's a lot of comedians out there that have been doing it for years that kind of hate on guys like me. And
fuck them. It's like it's jealousy.
I don't know what it is. I mean, because they have a great career, and if they would just sit and like, I have an unbelievable amount of respect for the guys that grinded it out, that had to do open mics and build their name organically with no social media. But don't hate on a guy. Like if I was one of these Instagram guys where you come see me perform and you're like, "Dude, that's fucking horrible. How is this guy selling out?" That's a different story. But I'm literally a comedy junkie. My first stand-up was, I think I was 7 years old. It was 1987. And I got my ass kicked because I hid behind my couch in my aunt's house when I was told to go to my room. And my father caught me during the last 5 minutes. And I was watching Andrew Dice Clay with all my cousins. And I was hiding behind the couch watching it. And my mouth, I think it was his New Year's Eve special. My mouth was dropped. I got my ass kicked. And I met Andrew for the first time 2 weeks ago. And I said, "You got my ass kicked, dude. In 1987, I watched your fucking stand-up." And he goes, "Yeah? How old are you?" I was like, 7. He goes, "You should have been watching." I go, "Hickory dickory dock, bitch." That's all I kept. I would recite that in school. I get my ass kicked every time I went home. But yeah, different paths, man. I mean, take whatever opportunities you have and make the best with it. Don't hate on somebody for doing it.
I had this lady come up to me at Yale, at a bar in Yale. She said she was really insulted by me and she'd been in disgrace. And she said something about Italians. I said, "Well, I'm Italian." She goes, "Oh, you are? Oh, that's okay. I thought you were a Jew." Like everything was okay as long as you weren't.
Why is the Italian American race so safe to attack? Why do you
I don't know, man.
There's no struggle anymore. You know what I mean? The struggle's gone, and everyone's intermarried. You know.
Dude, I get some of the dumbest comments, man. I had a lady comment me yesterday. She goes, I put a comedy bit out about my wife not working, and she's her biggest problem was that the pool jets weren't blowing at the same rate. You know, she's like, oh, the right jet used to blow a lot more. I'm like, well, maybe he got married. Fucking, I mean, that worked, you know, that's what caused you to stop blowing. And the lady writes a comment. And if you think about this comment, it's so fucking dumb. I thought it was Yogi Berra, the shit Yogi Berra used to say. She said, you're such an ass. I cannot believe so many people find you hysterical. And I'm like, what are you, stupid? That's like saying that restaurant sucks. I can't believe you can't get a table there for 2 years down the road. So I'm like, well, people, maybe it's you. And she goes, no, I have a good sense of humor. And I said, but you're admitting that a lot of people find me hysterical. She goes, oh my God, my whole family, my friends, everybody I know find you hysterical. I think you're an ass. I said, well, I think 1985 wants their fucking haircut back. She had like the perm my mom had when I was in karate as a kid. It was just that 80s perm. But that people are dumb. It's just, I think social media caused a lot of people to feel like they have a platform to even speak negative about everybody. Like everybody just wants a platform to speak. And dude, I was raised old school. If I go to a restaurant and I don't like the food, I whisper to everybody there and I go, we're never coming back. I'm not jumping on Yelp and writing a fucking 5-page review. Same thing goes with a video. If I see a bunch of people laughing at it, I'll sit there and go, I don't have a clue what they find funny. But I'm not going to talk shit about the guy making the video on the comments. People, dude, Mike Tyson said it. Social media made people forget what it's like to get punched in the face. I think a lot of people deserve to get punched in the face, me included. I should get punched at least once a month.
But you don't delete comments.
No.
That actually helps you, right?
Oh, it's the algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's some people that, like, I'll do a video and somebody will be like, oh, this guy sucks. And then somebody will comment below him, well, you suck. And then it'll be an argument. And I'll wake up in the morning, there's 128 comments underneath this comment. And it's just people going back and forth. Fuck you, you're a liberal. Oh, you're a piece of shit Republican, this and that. Then I'll delete their comment and I'll block them. Because I have people that they'll troll your page and they'll just comment to everyone's comment they don't like. And they'll just cause, commotion on your page. I don't want that shit. So I'll block them. It's like go troll someone else's page. But no, the negative comments, dude. Those are the ones I answer back. I love answering back negative comments.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's the Italian in me. I like confrontation, but yeah. People are like, you're so good and funny. I'm like, thanks. But then if you go, dude, you should quit comedy, I'll have a fucking 3-hour conversation with you back to back. I'll go at it with you.
Sebastian, he says to me, I'm watching him. I knew him when he was a waiter. I'm really proud of him. Not that I'm the Don Corleone, but I go, and people come up to me, they go, that guy's stealing your act. I go, I don't own Italy. What do you think? I do things related to my life, and Joey Bag of Donuts blew out of it. But you have every right in the world to fucking say that.
Right.
People think you're gonna go, yeah, he's stealing my act. He's filling arenas. Yeah.
I got that today. Some lady says, you're mocking Joe Coy's act. And I said, well, Joe Coy and I have the same agent. So I think if I was mocking his act, somebody would have said something. I said, what am I mocking? Well, he talks about gaining weight after 40 also. I go, that's because it's common, you dumb fuck.
Parallel thought.
I'm like, I don't understand. See, people, I think, mix up a premise with an actual bit. If it's the same premise, I have a bit where, it's a true story. My daughter came home and there's a kid in her class that was at my house the year before. Nicest kid in the world, 7, 8 years old. He meows now. That's his thing. He doesn't talk, he meows. And his parents encourage him and they feel like, he's finding his inner animal. And I said, well, have you approached him? And she goes, well, if you go too close, he'll hiss at you. I go, really? I said, well, I want you to bite him and then tell the fucking teacher you identify as a German Shepherd. And my wife's like, you can't do that. I'm like, no, I'll go to school. I'll act like one of these nutcases. I'll go, who thought it was a good idea to put a dog in the same classroom as a cat? We've been training my daughter to be a service dog, you piece of shit. You just backed me up 6 months of training. And someone watched it and they go, oh, that's Sebastian's bit. He talks about a kid dressing up as a lion in his son's school. I said, was the punchline the same? Well, no. Well, that means it's happening other places, you dick. How did I steal something that my daughter came home and told me? And it's like what you said. I mean, you don't own fucked up situations. I don't own Italy. It's like I can't. I hate people. That's my answer for everything. I hate people.
More if you hate us.
You're doing Australia.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that? A lot of Italians out there, or
Australia's loaded with Italians. Loaded.
Really?
Yeah.
Dom, did you ever do Australia, Dom?
Oh, a lot of times, yeah. I love it. I love Perth. It's the largest largest that far away from anything. Isn't it like the closest? What was in Malaysia? It's closer than Sydney. It's fucking great. The girls are so fucking hot. It's unbelievable,
dude. Every girl I see on Instagram from Australia, I'm like, holy shit! I gotta leave my T-shirt on the beach. I'm not embarrassing myself. They're all ripped. They have high metabolism, but I'm doing it by myself, man. It's a long flight. I'm gonna try it out by myself at first. I'm going.
Make sure you're going first, or at least business, because it's brutal.
I'm doing Emirates business, which is still a lot, but Emirates first. My travel agent was like, yeah, I can do it for about 26,000 round trip. And I go, do I get like 9 fucking Filipino women to like caress me and massage me the whole flight? She goes, well, you get a pod and a shower. I don't want to shower on a fucking plane. I said, no. She goes, all right. I said, all I want to do is be able to lay down flat. Like, I'll fly JetBlue Mint a lot. I just want to lay down flat. I'm 5'6.5". I can curl up in a box and be comfortable. So she said to take Emirates business class, and that's decent. But the flights, oh my God, I think it's like 26 hours.
Jesus Christ.
And then the people there, they're reaching out to me. I know a couple of the comics there. And I had a phone call the other day. He's like, hey, mate, everybody's really excited that you're coming here. I said, oh, it's great, man. I can't wait. He goes, yeah. He goes, what do you want to do? You got a couple of days off. I said, I'm going to go to the beach, dude. Your beaches are phenomenal. Yeah, mate, don't go to the fucking beach. We got sharks. I go, really? Oh, great white sharks.
Oh, they got a lot of them, yeah.
I said, I'll stay on the sand. We got spiders and snakes. They'll fucking kill you, too. I said, well, I'll stay off the beach. Kangaroos, emus, a lot of fucking things. I said, I'll stay in a hotel. Women will kill you, the deadliest creatures in Australia. I said, maybe I'll just fucking stay home. How about that? I won't even come to Australia. And he sends me a list, 18 different things that can kill me. I'm like, you guys have some welcome.
It's a good Australian accent. Yeah. It's a very good Australian accent. That was great.
I can't wait to use it. I watched fucking Crocodile Dundee 17,000 times. That's not a knife. That's a knife.
They got a big comedy scene.
Oh yeah, pretty big.
They're fun people. They're all crazy.
Yes,
they're all nuts.
Nuts.
Love to party too.
They're nuts. Like I just want to rent a fucking Ford Bronco and run through the desert or wherever.
Are you going with your wife?
Yeah, outback.
No, I'm going by myself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm getting every time I leave my house, she says the same thing. Behave. Don't do anything stupid. I go, well, what's stupid to you? Because we've established over the years. My definition for stupid is different than yours. She goes, what do you mean? I said, well, 3 weeks ago, when golfing with 4 of my buddies, we took chocolate mushrooms. We were doing snow angels in the sand trap by the 9th hole. You said that's stupid. That was the best time of my life. Well, what do you mean by stupid? Don't fuck anything. I said, okay. I said, I'm just a little confused because every time I leave the house, you think, I'm like undesirable, like I'm irresistible. Like she looks at me and she has this thing in her head that every woman wants to bang me. And I said, you think every woman wants to bang me except you. Why is that? It's so fucking weird. If I was irresistible, you should be tearing my clothes off every day we're together. Yeah, don't do anything. I said, all right, well, don't go on Instagram and look what these girls in Australia look like because they're fucking phenomenal. And they really are, man. Brings me back to ratios. My cousin goes right in front of her, too. He's at my house. He goes, bro, if you go up to 1,000 hot smoking women in Australia and just say, hey, I'm from the States, you want to bang? You're going to get at least 6 to say yes. I go, what the fuck is you couldn't text me that? He goes, I'm just saying,
Do you go to this guy for advice all the time?
Oh, my cousin Marco, dude. He's out of his mind. He's the one that travels with me a lot. He's out of his mind, man.
Oh, you roll with a crew when you travel.
Well, I got Johnny all the time, and then sometimes
tell him I said hi.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna call him after the podcast if he's up. But I got my cousin Marco that comes. I got my little brother. My dad will roll with me sometimes.
When I opened for you in Albany, your father was there in the green room.
Dude, you remember how he was a fucking nut. You got to see.
And I remember what you said, dude. This had to be 4 years ago. I remember you watched my set, and you were like, "You're funny. You gotta start mastering the internet."
Yeah,
I remember you saying that.
Promote yourself.
You were like, it's not what it was. It's a different.
I learned that
you were like, it's a different era. You gotta start getting on.
Yeah, I said, listen, I told you, I said your material is fucking bang on. Like, and listen, a lot of people open for us sometimes. Like, I'll let people open, and some people should not do comedy, like just flat out. And I hate when they come backstage and I go, dude, you got a rough crowd. I go, my crowd's not rough. You killed it. And I said to you, you could be funny as shit. If nobody knows who the fuck you are, you're wasting good material on stage. You know, you got to attack the social media. Put all your clips out there. You know, people are like, oh, you put a lot of clips. What if somebody steals your act? I'll fucking write new material. Let them take it. If they want to take it, let them take it. But if I'm doing it online and it's time stamped and then they're doing it, well, at least I have something to go on.
So you've been pulling back from the sketches and putting more stand up out there.
I've been, because I'm doing the special in September, and you know I want to fucking just knock the roof off the place. But no, I put a sketch tonight. I'm gonna probably do one during the week. I got a bunch of sketches. It's just when I'm on the road so much, and you know I'm only home for 3 days. You know I got 2 young kids. I don't want to be in the basement, you know, cram doing sketches. So I'll wait for them to go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock. And if I'm up to it, I'll write a sketch, I'll film it. And, you know, I'll go to bed at like fucking 3 a.m. It's tough, man, to do stand up. We have a podcast every Tuesday, and to do videos, you burn yourself out, you know, but listen, you have to promote yourself online. But, yeah, man, I remember that show in Albany. My father was a fucking character. You got to see him now. You would think he's the one performing. He comes to shows, he'll do the meet and greet. He goes, yo, you mind if I take a couple of pictures with your fan? I said, no, you can take pictures. He goes, yeah, because, you know, they want to see who's the real person behind your company. I said, yeah, they do. So one lady goes up to him. And my father, my parents are divorced since I was 19. And the lady goes, hey, how you doing, Mr. Rodia? Nice to meet you. She goes, does it bother you that your son uses a lot of your stories in his act? He goes, bother me. No, it's making me feel good. I could be my son's perspiration. I said, what? So the lady's hitting on him, blatantly hitting on him. My father's giving her like information nobody needs to know. She goes, why don't we go out for a drink one night? He goes, I can't drink alcohol because my son has said it's got a sugar and I got a diabetes. And if I drink too much sugar, they're going to cut off my legs. I'm going to lose my teeth. I can't have a sugar. So she goes, let's go for coffee. If I have a coffee at night, I can't sleep. Who's going to help me sleep? But then I'm up all night. If I can watch a Bonanza, I get in my day and night to mix up. I can't. And she goes, all right, well, why don't we just hang out? He goes, I don't want to waste your time. He goes, a couple years ago, I had a prostate cancer. They took my prostate out. The doctor said it would not affect my piece of deal. He fucking lie. Now my dickets are no working the same. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? My dickets are like a spaghetti al dente. I cannot do nothing with you. And she walks away. He goes, she was very nice. I hope she call. She ain't calling you. You just told her your dick is asleep. What, you going to bring her vagina over for a slumber party? He goes, what? I was to be honest with her. I like it to put everything on the table. I said, no, you put everything on the table, all right? You put your fucking sleeping dick all over that table. He's out of his mind.
All of that stuff I've done. Exactly the same way. It was even with your mother and father.
You're a whole different type of sickness. You're just fucking sick.
Annie. They ever call you Annie?
Yeah, I still get
Yo, Aunt.
Yeah. I'm still little Anthony in my family, little Anthony. My father's Tony. My uncle's Big Ant or Uncle Ant. I'm still Anthony.
Ant, how did the wine happen? You got your own wine.
Company approached me. Company out of Connecticut. They said, you know, do you want to come out with a wine? So I said, yeah. I said, I don't want it to be just a shit wine because I make my own wine for real. So I tasted a bunch of blends. I fell in love with a blend I wanted it to be made in Italy, and I wanted it to be affordable. I don't want it to be a pricey wine, and I wanted my characters to be on it, because if this comedy thing keeps getting bigger, my goal is to turn those characters into a streaming cartoon. And if that happens, anything with those characters on it will just, you know, climb with the characters itself. So the more I grow, the more the characters grow, the more the wine grows. But yeah, they said, listen, we're gonna put up everything. We just want your name and your characters, 50% down the middle, pretty easy. And the fucking wine is good, man.
Bro, when do you sleep?
I don't.
What the fuck?
I don't sleep. I'll do meet and greets during the week for wine. I'll pop into restaurants and do a bunch of signings. If they like, you know, a restaurant will buy 10 cases and I'll go and I'll sign for an hour and a half. I don't sleep, dude. I'm addicted to what I do. I fucking love it. You know. And people make me laugh. I'll get like big wine guys, like people that have like cases of fucking Camus that they drink as table wine, and they'll ask me. Like one guy came up to me, he goes, "So your wine, what kind of wine is it?" I said, "It's a Montepulciano." He goes, "Oh, phenomenal. What do you say is the best way to drink it? What would you pair it with?" I said, "Tell you the truth, I have a 7-year-old and 3-year-old. What I like to do is I like to take the top off and put a straw in it, and I just drink until I can't fucking hear my kids anymore." And he goes, "Thank you." I said, "Yeah, no problem. That's what I like. I like to pair it with a straw."
He's asking a comedian how to drink.
What the fuck did you want me to say? I like a nice aged, Gouda. I like to chew on a Gouda or maybe some provolone. I like to melt it a little bit, maybe some chocolate. I like to swirl it I put a straw in it, dude. I have a fucking screw top wine bottle. It's not even a cork. What do you think I paired with? He goes, "Well, your wine is very delicious. It's got really nice aroma to it." I said, "Yeah, dude. I don't know if you should keep drinking my wine. You might want to go with Prosecco."
Dom, you a big wine guy?
I can't anymore.
Oh no.
Buzzkill.
Any reason? He's like, "Nah, I just can't."
I hangovers and I don't want to get into it.
It's not even a medical reason.
But if I did, I'd drink his wine. Is that so wrong? Am I pandering?
Throw the plug in there, Ant. What's the name of it? Where can they get it?
Oh, it's Rodia Wines. Pretty simple. RodiaWines.com. It ships all across the country except Pennsylvania for some fucking reason, man.
How'd that happen?
Pennsylvania has
Look at this. Who did the artwork, cuz?
You like that, right?
Yeah.
I like that.
Wow.
Yeah, Pennsylvania has weird rules.
Wait, I gotta see the price on this. Go back up.
It's $12 a bottle.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
That is.
And we're doing we do specials every 3 months where you buy 6, you get 6 free. So I think it comes out to, with shipping and everything, comes out to like $84 for a case.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, dude, it's stocked in my garage. I drink it, and I'm a big Camus guy. I like Bonanza. I like a really good red wine, and I drink the shit out of it. Anytime you see or you hear my kids losing their shit, and then you slowly see me walk into my garage, I go in there, I sit down on a chair, I put on the fucking radio, and I'm leaving there trashed, wrecked. You know how many times I fell asleep on a fucking beach chair at like 3 o'clock in the morning, covered in wine? My wife's like, "You're a disgrace." I'm like, "Your kids are a disgrace." I actually accept that a lot.
Thank you for doing the show.
Yeah, thanks for having you on. Great.
Anytime, man. This shit was
plug a couple of dates you got coming up, and how can we see the podcast and everything?
So the podcast is on Facebook. We do Facebook Live, but that's going to Patreon soon. All my shows are on rodiacomedy.com. This weekend we're in Vegas at the Venetian. Then I'm coming back. I got a show Sunday at the Paramount. Next week we're in Tampa. Then we're in Levity Live. Then we're in Atlanta in August. We're all over the place.
God bless, buddy.
Thank
you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Anytime, man. Anytime. This was fun. You guys got me to escape in my basement for an hour and not put my kids to
You're a fucking worker, man. I'm just learning how to close my typewriter.
You got like that big ass case that comes down.
Dom Irrera, Anthony Rodia. That's our show. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yo, Dom, over here.
Hey,
Dom, hey.
Yo, Dom.